Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week we continue learning Pirkei Avot, Ethics of the Fathers, with the book of Visions of Fathers by Rabbi Abraham Twersky, and we're in chapter 5, Mishna 15, in which it says that there are 4 types of students. One who grasps quickly and forgets quickly. His gain is offset by his loss. One who grasps slowly and forgets slowly, his loss is offset by his gain. One who grasps quickly and forgets slowly, this is a good portion. One who grasps slowly and forgets quickly, this is a bad portion. So in the last Mishnah, or the last few Mishnahs, we have been learning about character traits, about people that are slow to anger or fast to anger, or all these things that we've been learning. Really, they talk about midot, about character traits and how to work on them. This is something that you can work on. You can become more patient, you can become more loving. If you work on it, you can really refine your midot. You can really come to refine your character traits. But this Mishnah really, it's talking about poor memory or good memory. Like, a person is not faulty if he doesn't have such a good memory. Like, for me, it's very hard. I meet a person and I have to say, if I don't have a good conversation with a person, then when I meet them again, I don't recognize them. It's a problem I have, but it's very hard for me to work on it. Like, so when I meet people, I try to talk to them for a while and get like ideas of something interesting about them that will help me remember them the next time I meet them. But here what Rabbi Twersky is saying is that if one was born with poor memory, is there really anything he can do to significantly improve it? So Les Avos provides an interpretation which reveals a profound understanding of the learning process. So it's unbelievable to think that the Pirkei Avot, the Mishna, this book that is thousands of years old, had such an understanding not only about character traits of a person, of their personality, and it's so involved not only in how to correct yourself and how to refine yourself and make yourself better in these areas, but also has an understanding of learning disabilities. Like, this is something that just now in the world, in the scientific world, it's starting to become more understandable. But if we read this Mishnah, we see that the Pirkei Avot is talking about learning disabilities before we even knew the name learning disabilities. So what he's saying is that it does have a very profound understanding of the learning process. It is indeed true that some people are born with a quicker grasp, that they're like this, and better memory than others. Yet there is much that a person does that increases or decreases her learning capacity. So we can all recall teachers whom we loved and admired, that the way in which they taught a class left us with a big impression and a lot of good learning, like things that you still till today. I remember teachers that gave in high school that till today I remember things that they taught me. But it was not because I was such an intelligent girl. It's because the way they gave us the material was a way which was interesting. It was easy to learn. It was, I don't know, the way they did it made an impact in ourselves. And however, if the subject material was not important to us, if what we were learning, like for example, if you're learning chemistry, for example, I was horrible with chemistry. I'm not a scientific type of brain. I'm more of an artistic, letters, reading. I'm more that type of person. So for me, chemistry was almost impossible, and I could not retain it for long. So we see from here, we were attentive to that if you're attentive to the instructor because of our feelings for him, we absorb quickly. Like, if it's a good teacher, he's a nice teacher, you like the teacher, you feel good with the teacher, you're gonna learn more. However, the material went in one ear and out the other because we did not value what we were being taught. So if you're not valuing the chemistry class, for you it's not an important subject, you're not gonna be a chemist, you're not gonna work in chemistry, or you're not gonna be a doctor, then for you it's not important, then for you it's gonna be much harder to retain. And then we see that in as much as a person can change his attitude towards a teacher and can change his valuation of the subject matter, he can profoundly affect how readily absorbs the material and how well he retains it. So what Rabbi Twersky is telling us here is that if for us the material is not important, then it's going to be very hard for us to retain the material. But if for us it's important, then we're going to do everything in our possession to be able to retain the material. He gives an explanation that when he was in college, in university, there was this teacher that used to give children psychology on Saturdays. And since Rabbi Twersky is a Shomer Shabbat Jew, he could not go to his classes. And it seems that this teacher, although he was a brilliant doctor, a brilliant pediatrician, he was a very bad teacher. And all the students in the class really were very turned off by him, and it was very hard to keep up with him. He was very boring. But Rabbi Twersky, since he could not attend this class, he learned from the textbook. And he did everything he had to do to learn the subject. At the end, he did much better than the other students that did attend the teacher's class. So we see here that also the teacher is very important, and the interest that you put into the subject is very, very important. And he says here, it's beautiful, that he says that if we adopt the principle of know him in all your ways, which means that everything we do should be directed towards God, the earning a living in order to fulfill the Torah obligations, to provide for our families, to support Torah scholars, and to give tzedakah, become accessories to Torah. So what he's saying here is that the secular studies really are important for our daily lives because we live in a secular world. We need to work, we need to eat, we need to know how to do 1 + 1. But the important thing, what he gives here, which is really incredible, is that if you connect everything to Hashem, if you don't see Torah studies and secular studies as two complete separate things, like one is of the material world, the other one is of the spiritual world, and they have nothing to do one with the other, then obviously you're not going to be able to take advantage of all that is being taught to you from the other side, or from the Torah perspective, if it's not important for you. But as the Mishna says, know God in all your ways. When you make it a priority that everything that you're learning, everything that you see, everything that you encounter is a way to get to know Hashem through your work, through your learning, through your tzedakah, through everything you do, you're trying to get to know God. What this means is that you're emulating His attributes in everything you do. Then you're gonna come to really excel in everything. So it says here that if one needs to know astronomy in order to calculate the calendar, then astronomy becomes an accessory to Torah. Make everything an accessory to Torah. And in this way, you're gonna be able to excel. And says the Rambam, then this too is an accessory of Torah, to Torah. Ramban said that his study of science was only that it be a handmaiden to Torah. When acquiring secular knowledge is subordinated to the Torah, the principles of chapter 6 apply to this as well. So what it means here is that when we connect the dots, when we connect the Torah, the spiritual and the material, and everything becomes one goes with the other, if they're not separate, then you're gonna be able to retain the information in a profound and infinite way. You're not gonna lose it, you're not gonna forget it. So it says here that Mishnah 2:20, the day is short, the task is abundant. We do not have the luxury of spending time on anything that does not contribute in some way toward the ultimate goal of a Torah living. It is of interest that this Mishnah uses the expression gain and loss in regard to study habits, terms that are usually employed in commerce. Perhaps the Mishnah wishes to impress upon us that at the very least we should relate to Torah study the way we do to our business affairs. So the same way we give so much importance to our secular life, we should give to our Torah life. So, for example, Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai responded to his students, which they requested for his blessing, by saying, may you fear God as much as you fear people. And in many Sidurim, there is the admonition that one should not hurry through the prayers, but you should say the words slowly as if one were counting money. We cannot escape our limitations and values of morals. We can, however, sublimate them and develop them as accessories of Torah. So if you take your daily life, your mundane life, and you make it an accessory to Torah, then it's gonna be in a much higher level. I bless you with a beautiful week. That Hashem should give you the capacity to retain everything you learn, and that you should use it for good. And remember, live a little higher. Thank you.